Only one question came from linear algebra in MMath 2018, and the question says if n greater or equal to 2 and A be a n cross n real matrix, okay, then let adjoint of A denote the adjoint of A, that is ij entry of adjoint A is the ijth cofactor of A. Then they have asked us to show the rank of adjoint A is either 0 or 1 or n. That is, if A be a n cross n real matrix, then rank of adjoint A is either 0 or 1 or n. Okay, now let's start the solution. First of all, case 1, let rank of A is equal to n. Okay, now if rank of A equal to n, we can conclude that det of A not equal to 0, right? Now it will imply A is non-singular, right? And A inverse exists, right? Now as we know, A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A equal to det A multiplied by in, right? So A multiplied by adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to det A into in, right? Now we can say that adjoint A, let's say that A into adjoint of A is equal to det A into in. Now taking det both sides, that is det of A into adjoint of A is equal to det of det A into in. So this is nothing but, as we know, det of A into B is equal to det A into det B, so we can conclude that det of A into det of adjoint A is equal to, now this is equal to det of A to the power n, det of A that to the power n into det of in. Now det of A into det of adjoint A is equal to, det of in is equal to 1, so it is equal to det of A that is whole to the power n. Now as det of A is non-zero, so from this we can conclude that det of A into det of adjoint A not equal to 0. So we can, this is a real number and this is a real number, so we can conclude that det of adjoint A not equal to 0. So we can conclude that rank of adjoint A is equal to n. As adjoint A is a n cross n matrix with non-vanishing determinant, so we can conclude that rank of adjoint A is equal to n, right? So if rank of A is equal to n, it will imply rank of adjoint A is equal to n. Okay, now case 2, if rank of A is less or equal to n minus 2, okay, what I am saying that rank of adjoint A is rank of A is less or equal to n minus 2. Okay, now if rank of A is less or equal to n minus 2, then A has a, I'm saying that if rank of A is equal to n minus 2, then we can conclude that A, the maximum order of non-vanishing minor of A is n minus 2. That is, the maximum order of non-vanishing minor of A is n minus 2. If A has a non-vanishing minor of order n minus 1 or n, then we can conclude that rank of A is greater or equal to n minus 1. So as the rank of A is less or equal to n minus 2, so we can conclude that the maximum order of non-vanishing minor of A is n minus 2. Now, if we construct adjoint A, when we are constructing adjoint A, we are taking the minors of order n minus 1, right? We are taking the minors of order n minus 1, right? Now, each minor of order n minus, each minor of order n minus 1 is is equal to 0. So this is nothing but 0 0 0 0 0 0 dot dot 0 0 dot dot 0. So therefore rank of adjoint A is equal to 0. So, okay, are you getting my point? What I am saying, that if rank of A is less or equal to n minus 1, then the maximum order of non-vanishing minors of A is n minus 2. Sorry, rank of A is equal to n minus 2, then we can conclude that the maximum order of non-vanishing minor of A is n minus 2. In adjoint A, we are considering the minors of order n minus 1, right? So each minor of order n minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is nothing but 0 matrix. So adjoint A becomes 0 matrix when the rank of A is less or equal to n minus 2. Hence, the rank of adjoint A is equal to 0. Now, we consider two cases where rank of A is equal to n, and the second case we consider the rank of A less or equal to n. Then let us consider case 3. That is the remaining case. Okay, we already proved that rank of adjoint A is equal to n when the rank of A equal to n, and rank of adjoint A is equal to 0 when rank of A is less than equal to n minus 2. Now, in case 3, we have to show that the rank of adjoint A equal to 1 when the rank of A is equal to n minus 1. Okay, that is we have to show. Case 3, when rank of A is equal to n minus 1, we will show that rank of adjoint A is equal to 1. Okay. Now, if rank of A equal to n minus 1, then A has a non-zero minor of order n minus 1. As rank of A is equal to n minus 1, then we can conclude that A has a non-zero minor of order n minus 1. Now, when we construct adjoint A, we can say that adjoint A has at least one non-zero row, and that row A has at least one non-zero minor. Hence, adjoint A has at least one non-zero row. Therefore, rank of adjoint A must be greater equal to 1, and hence by using rank nullity theorem, that is rank of adjoint A plus nullity of adjoint A is equal to n. Using rank nullity theorem, we can say that nullity of adjoint A less or equal to n minus 1. Okay, from rank nullity theorem, we can conclude that rank nullity of adjoint A is less or equal to n minus 1. Now, as rank of A is equal to n minus 1 equal to column rank of A, right? Column rank of A. As we know that rank of A equal to column rank of A, we can conclude that column rank of A is equal to n minus 1. It will imply dimension of column space. Column space is equal to n minus 1. Hence, we can conclude that there exists n minus 1 linearly independent columns of A. Hence, we can conclude that there exists n minus 1 linearly independent columns of A. Without, let A equal to x1, x2 dot dot xn, where each xi is a n minus 1 cross, sorry, each xi is a n cross 1 column vector we are considering the matrix A as x1, x2, xn, where each xi is a n cross 1 column vector, right? Now, without loss of generality, I assume that first n minus 1 columns are linearly independent, that is x1, x2 dot dot x n minus 1 is linearly independent, okay, is linearly independent. Now as rank of A is equal to n minus 1, we can say that as rank of A is equal to n minus 1, we can say that det of A is equal to 0. If det of A not equal to 0, then rank of A must be n. As rank of A n minus 1, we can say that det of A not equal to 0. Now adjoint A into A is equal to det A into in. So from here we can say that adjoint A into A as det A equal to 0 is equal to 0 matrix, right? Now putting the value of A, adjoint A into x1, x2 dot dot xn is equal to 0 matrix. Now multiplying this matrix with this row, we get adjoint A into x1, adjoint A into x2 dot dot adjoint A into xn. This is a column vector, this is a row vector, is equal to 0, 0 dot dot 0. So from this we can conclude that adjoint of A of xi is equal to 0, right, for all I equal to 1, 2 dot dot n. So we can conclude that x1, x2 dot dot xn is a subset of kernel of adjoint A, right? Adjoint of xi is equal to 0, so we can conclude that xi belongs to adjoint A. So this is a say subset of kernel of adjoint A. Now as this belongs to kernel of adjoint A, so we can conclude that span of x1, x2 dot dot xn is the smallest subspace containing x1, x2, xn, and this is a subspace containing x1, x2, xn. So we can conclude that this is a subset of kernel of adjoint A. As this is a subspace containing x1, this is the smallest subspace containing x1, x2, xn, and this is only a subspace containing x1, x2, xn. So this is the smaller subspace. Now it will imply dimension of span of x1, x2 dot dot xn is equal to n minus 1, as there are n minus 1 linearly independent vectors. So we can conclude the dimension of span of x1, x2, xn is equal to n minus 1. Hence we can, from this we can conclude that dimension of span of x1, x2 dot dot xn is less or equals to dimension of kernel of adjoint A, as kernel of adjoint is a superset of this set. So the dimension of span of x1, x2, xn is less or equal to dimension of kernel of adjoint A, right? So we can say that n minus 1 less or equals to dimension of kernel of adjoint A. Now what is kernel of adjoint A? This is nothing but nullity of adjoint A, right? Nullity of adjoint A. So nullity of adjoint A is greater or equal to n minus 1. Nullity of adjoint A is greater or equal to n minus 1, and we already proved that nullity of adjoint A is less or equal to n minus 1. Where I have proved that, just a minute. Nullity of adjoint A is already proved that nullity of adjoint A is less or equal to n minus 1, and I have proved that nullity of adjoint A is greater or equal to n minus 1. So from this we can conclude that nullity of adjoint A is equal to n minus 1. Now using rank nullity theorem, rank of adjoint A is equal to n minus 1. So this is equal to 1, and this completes the proof. So if A be any n cross n matrix where n greater equal to 2, or where n greater equal to 2, we can conclude that the dimension of adjoint A is either 0 or 1 or n. Okay. Only one question came from linear algebra in 2017 also, and the question says, if V be a finite dimensional vector space over a field F and T such that V to V be a linear transformation, let W subset of V be a subspace such that T of W is equal to W, right? This kind of, that is, they say that T of W is a subset of W, right? This kind of subspace actually known as T invariant subspace, subspace, right? This kind of subspace is known as T invariant subspace. That is, W is a T invariant subspace. And suppose T is diagonalizable, okay? Then they ask, is T restricted to W is also diagonalizable? Okay. This is the answer is actually, the answer is yes. T restricted on W is also diagonalizable. Okay. In this problem, I am using a theorem that you actually can see the proof of this theorem in Hofmann-Kunz page number 200. You actually can see the proof of this theorem in Hofmann-Kunz page number 200. I am not going through the proof of this theorem. Actually, the theorem says, if I am writing this theorem, if V be a finite dimensional vector space, V be a finite dimensional vector space, and T such that V to V be a linear transformation, and T is a V to V be a linear transformation, okay, and W be a T invariant subspace. W is a T invariant subspace, okay. Then W be a T invariant subspace, okay. Then let TW is denoting T restricted on W, okay. TW is denoting T restricted on W. Then characteristic polynomial of TW and minimal polynomial of TW divides characteristic polynomial of T and minimal polynomial of T respectively. You can see the proof of this theorem. I am not going through the proof of this theorem. What does the theorem says? Theorem says, if CHTX be the characteristic polynomial of T, CHTWX be the characteristic polynomial of T restricted on W, okay, MTX be the minimal polynomial of T, and MTWX be the minimal polynomial of TW, okay, then the theorem says, then the minimal polynomial of TW divides the minimal polynomial of T, and the characteristic polynomial of TW divides the characteristic polynomial of T. Okay, the minimal polynomial of TW divides the polynomial of T, minimal polynomial of characteristic polynomial of TW divides the characteristic polynomial of T. Actually, I use this fact, that is minimal polynomial of TW divides minimal polynomial of T. Okay, now let's come to this result. Let MTX equal to minimal polynomial of T, and MTWX be the minimal polynomial of TW. Now observe that T is a diagonalizable linear operator, right? So as T is a diagonalizable linear operator, we know a linear operator is diagonalizable if and only if its minimal polynomial can be expressed as product of distinct linear factors. So we can consider MTX as x minus c2 dot dot x minus CR, where CI not equal to Cj for I not equal to j, right? As we can express the minimal polynomial as a product of distinct linear factors, so we can write x minus c1 x minus c2 dot dot x minus cr, where Ci not equal to Cj. Now it is we know that MTW divides MTX, so MTWX divides MTX, right? As minimal polynomial of TW divides the minimal polynomial of T. Now there it will imply MTWX divides x minus c1 x minus c2 dot dot x minus cr. So as minimal polynomial of TW divides these factors, so we can consider that, or we can conclude that MTW we can express MTWX as a product of distinct linear factors. That is, it will imply we can express MTWX as the product of distinct linear factors, right? As MTW or minimal polynomial of TW divides this polynomial or these factors, so we actually can express minimal polynomial of T as a product of distinct linear factors. It will imply TW is also diagonalizable, and this completes the proof. If you think that this video is helpful to you, so do subscribe my channel and do share my video. Thank you so much.